All right, Shalawam, Israel. I'd like to give all praises, honor, and glory to YAHAWAH, YAHAWASHI. Number one is to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. And Shalawam to elect out there doing this work of faith and labor of love and true sincerity. Right now, I want to get into just a real brief topic, touching on, the guy from Sakari, Hakah, asking Apostle Gabar, the question, and Apostle Gabar responding back onto him. And like this whole thing was just like irrelevant, man, and everything in which Apostle Gabar was saying, you pretty much agreed with him, but you just had a lack of understanding or assumed, that's why they say you assume, you make out of your ass out of yourself, you just assumed that he meant one other thing in which he never said within the video, so your whole argument was irrelevant. But just goes to show, the pride in which you have, how you want to make yourself equal, with the apostles. And that has to be the whole spirit over there in which that camp carries, man. So I just wanted to bring out a quick scripture, because this thing ain't about, trying to make yourself equal with somebody else or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Or trying to showboat about, breakdowns or your level of understanding, man. It's about you applying this knowledge and wisdom and understanding into your daily life, and prophesying out there in them highways and byways, man, and doing what's right, man. So real quick, this is the book of 2 Corinthians chapter 10 and verse 12. It says, "For we dare not make ourselves of the number or compare ourselves with some that commend themselves, but they measuring themselves by themselves and comparing themselves among themselves are not wise." Okay, so amongst them over there, they got to be comparing themselves. What the so-called guerrilla Hebrew, he obviously compares himself to be equal or superior to Apostle Tahar, which isn't the case. And you, Hakah, yourself, within the video, you said, I'm second in command. Apostle Gabar, you second in command. So I'm talking second in command and second in command. So what you comparing yourself with this man that's been in this truth, laboring in this word for YAHAWASHI way longer than you, man. Way longer than all of us, man. How can you compare however long you've been in this truth? I don't know how long, what at the most, maybe between 7 to 10 years, to what the apostles, holding down this truth for 20 and 30 some odd years. You can't compare that, man. How could you compare that experience? You can't. You can't. There's no way you can. All right. It says, I'll read that again. It says, "For we dare not make ourselves of the number or compare ourselves with some that commend themselves, but they measuring themselves by themselves and comparing themselves among themselves are not wise." So what? That's not a wise thing to do. And Paul is directly letting you know this, man. That's not a wise thing to do. Because that creates what? That pride in which you guys are full of. You're full of that pride, man. That's why you do things in that manner, trying to compare yourself to a man of the Lord of that magnitude, man. This goes to show you really don't know who you're dealing with, man. And how you have no honor and no respect, man. But it's verse 13, it says, "But we will not boast of things without our measure, but according to the measure of the rule which the Most High have distributed to us, a measure to reach even unto you." So what? The apostles, they don't boast about their measure. They tell you like it is, man. They tell you about their experiences, They tell you the good information, relaying everything unto us in which we need to know, things that we need to discard, things that we need to worry about, things we don't need to worry about. They give us a full spectrum of this truth, man. When it comes to breakdowns, how to deal with personal situations, dealing with the world and different things like that, man. They give us a complete spectrum, okay? And I read that one more time. It says, "But we will not boast of things without our measure, but according to the measure of the rule which Yahawah have distributed to us a measure to reach even unto you. So they've been given a certain measure by YAHAWASHI to reach these thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of brothers throughout the four corners of the earth. Now, Hakah, what measure did YAHAWASHI give you and the Sakari over there? What measure? Did he give y'all the same measure that he gave the apostles and elders of Great Millstone? I think not, man. Okay? So how can you try to compare yourself with that man? You're totally off for that. All right? And it says, verse 14, for we stretch not ourselves beyond our measure, as though we reach not unto you. For we are come as far as to you also in preaching the gospel of Yahawashi, not boasting of things without our measure. And when it says in my Bible, when it says without our measure, it says beyond. So you're boasting of things that are beyond your reach, man. You know, you're boasting of things that are beyond your reach. You're caught up in the figment of your own imagination, you know, to think that you could be on that level, or to think that you can combat them in the scriptures, man. You know, what is the humility set in that? Okay, all we see from you guys is the constant pride that's being elevated in the actions and the things in which you do, and how you showcase it, how you display it, man. That was a direct call out, you know, to the apostle, man, which was an argument that needed not be, because it was simple, man. Just because you lack the understanding, and once again, assuming, man, you know. That's what happens, because all of us younger brothers, we're novices, man. And that's what happens when you're a novice and that pride puffs you up, man. The scriptures say knowledge puffeth up, you know, because you have guys that are constantly more focused on the deep revelations and all the deep breakdowns, which we are supposed to be focused on, than about character and about building yourself up in the spirit, man. You know, and that's why, you know, amongst the brotherhood, that's why you have to have a good name and showing that good character, man. But you guys lack that, you know. It says, verse 15, not boasting of things without our measure, that is of other men's labors, but having hope when your faith is increased, that we will be enlarged by you accordingly to our rule abundantly, to preach the gospel in the regions beyond you, and not to boast in another man's line of things made ready to our hand. Okay, so you're trying to boast in, you know, things in which you know, or things in which you think you know, and which you guys have always done. But YAHAWASHI have already laid the foundation through YAHAWASHI and through the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. And now you got guys like this that try to come and try to build upon that in a wrong manner, man. You try to fake tear down to build up, man. But the foundation is already laid. Great Millstone is that standard of this truth, man. Wherever you want to look to throughout the different Israelite groups that's out there, Great Millstone stands firm, man. It is that rock, you know, of YAHAWASHI. You know, YAHAWASHI being a rock, of course, you know, but underneath that is what I mean. Okay, so your whole argument and everything that you had was irrelevant, man. You know, and you totally out of line and you totally out of order for trying to compare yourselves with men of this magnitude. You know, as brothers in this truth, you know, we have to constantly practice humility, man. You know, and that's something that I constantly work on myself, that we all should work on. Because once pride sets in, man, you know, the scriptures say it. I might as well just grab it real quick. And Sirach, the 10th chapter, it says, 10 and 12, it says, the beginning of pride is when one departeth from Yahawah, and his heart is turned away from his maker. For pride is the beginning of sin, and he that hath it shall pour out abomination. Okay? So that's what you're doing. You pouring out ridiculous matters, you know, and coming at them for nothing, when there's other more important things out here to be talked on. There's other more important topics that we could be reaching. There's more brothers that's out there that we could be reaching. It's more brothers that needs edifying. It's more brothers that needs building. Okay? So you guys got to learn how to get in order, but obviously it's not within your nature, so I don't expect you to, man. You know, but for us brothers in Great Millstone, you know, we know how to conduct ourselves, we know how to be, and we know how to deal with the measure in which YAHAWASHI has given us, man, and we deal with that accordingly, man. You know? So, you know, with that, you know, I hope this short segment was edifying. I'd like to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahawah, Ba'ashim Yahawashi, double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and Shalawam to elect out there doing this work of faith and live with love and true sincerity. Shalawam.